Hi, Book Direct followers, whom I'd like to call direct booking heralds and pioneers. This is Hamid, Zebu's chief evangelist. I'd like to take this moment and let you know that we at Zebu are also working tirelessly to bring about the direct booking revolution with the many tools and functionalities we offer, as well as a completely commission-free direct booking platform called Zebu Direct. There's so much to cover and learn, so let's get into it and see how we can actually turn OTAs into direct booking sources. Although the two seem contradictory and fighting against each other, which they are, but let's not think of the dichotomy this way too much, at least for now. Well, I'm going to answer to the question, how can OTAs be tapped tactfully and become book direct sources in 6 different categories, which, when put beside one another in relation to the bigger picture, which is basically getting more direct bookings, work together perfectly and can help us achieve those very sought after direct bookings by applying very simple ways. After all, as somebody already in the show, you are determined to make a change and nothing seems difficult for you, I bet. Let's kick off the presentation by posing and exposing the paradox between direct bookings and OTAs. On the surface and even in the depths, the two, direct bookings and OTAs, could be no more different, and they do have a conflict of interest. We, as members of the hospitality industry, want commission-free bookings and independence, while they, the OTAs, want to earn more and more by charging commissions and keeping us, if you like, in their clutches, or if a bit more euphemized, in their control. But you should remember, they should not necessarily be looked at as threats. OTAs give you higher exposure, which could mean more direct booking opportunities. So that's a really good start, and I'm very optimistic about what OTAs can achieve for us. In short, if you were to summarize the paradox, I would say quite a beautiful paradox if understood correctly and the right ways are applied. Take a look at the disadvantages of OTAs. As you know, this is a huge market controlled to a great extent by Booking Holdings Incorporation and Expedia Group, with 70% of the market in their belonging as of 2018. And I'm quite sure you've seen the different logos of Hotels.com, Travel City, Trivago, HomeAway, Pricelines, Agoda, Kayak, Orbitz, and the rest, and all of these and more belong to either Booking Holdings Incorporation and Expedia Group, so there is no much difference between these when it comes to OTAs. We, as vacation rental owners or service apartment operators, have to pay 15 to 25% of our nightly rates to OTAs, which equals to 30 to 50% of our net profits. Just apply promotions and the loss goes higher and higher, at times for little in return. But again, OTAs for sure damage your branding, and you should rely on them continuously for income as a source if you do not actually apply what's necessary for getting direct bookings. Also, most of them don't allow direct contact with your guests as they hide your guests' real email addresses, so fewer marketing opportunities you will get. And finally, as they pay a huge sum of money to Google, your website will go lower and lower in the search result, in the Google search result page, and you lose many chances. But guess what? They do have some advantages, very valuable advantages. OTAs bring you and your listings more exposure, so you'll get more bookings. Then they can act as a stepping stone to bring in bookings, and you get the chance to convert these into direct ones. Please don't let them work as a diving platform, as the result is very obvious: drowning and bankruptcy. And finally, as the final advantage, OTAs are perfect to fill up your empty rooms in low seasons and on often days. I mean, the few days between two bookings which have been left unbooked, and you need to immediately fill them up. The next category: list your properties on as many relevant channels as possible. And let's answer the why, the what, and the how. Let's begin with the why of listing our properties on as many relevant channels as possible. The more relevant channels your properties are actually listed on, the more likely they will be exposed and ultimately found by potential bookers. And the second reason we should go with relevant channels is that the more bookings inquiries you receive, the more opportunities you will get for direct bookings. I guess this is somewhat quite simple relationship between the two, between listing your properties on relevant channels and getting higher chances for getting direct bookings. But let's also discuss what is a relevant channel at this stage. If I were to define what a relevant channel is, I would say a relevant channel appears the most on the first page of Google and other search engines when a potential booker is looking for a rental using various search terms or keywords like service accommodation in Cambridge, or B&Bs in Florida, or luxury hotels in Brussels. So that's quite a simple definition of what a relevant channel is. Let's see how to identify relevant channels. There are quite easy steps to take in order to find the relevant channels that work best for our business and our property type. Start by typing your property type plus the location. Then write down the top 5 to 7 channels, OTAs, appearing in Google SERP, which stands for Search Engine Result Page. 3. Use an alternative or another search query and repeat step 2, which is writing down the top 5 to 7 channels appearing in the search results. Afterwards, scroll down to the very bottom of the page and see other queries suggested by Google itself. Here are 2 examples. Imagine that you have searched service apartment in Cambridge. When you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you'll see a set of different suggestions made by Google. And if you've searched hotels in London, you'll see other queries again suggested by Google. 5. Click on the most relevant ones and write down the names of the channels. And by click on the most relevant ones, I mean those search queries suggested by Google at the bottom of the search result page. Afterwards, see which 5 or 7 channels have appeared the most according to the research you have done, and then take action and list your rentals on those 5 to 7 channels immediately. Let's go on to the next category, which is all about branding. When it comes to branding your business and your listing, choose unique names for your listings that reflect your branding and use the same name everywhere, direct and indirect. If Zeevoo were a provider of service accommodation, which it's not, we would go with names like Cambridge Central Apartment Zeevoo or Zeevoo Oxford Luxury Suites. Just remember to include your business name in your listings, in this case Zeevoo, for example. This way you will lead and usher potential guests to your direct booking doorways, such as your website, Google's listing, etc. Then add a book direct slogan, something around the lines book direct with us and save up to 10% and include your key messages and logo and try to advertise them through your website, invoice, email signature, and main OTAs like booking.com. Here's how to promote your book direct slogan and your key message on such OTAs like booking.com and Airbnb. For booking.com, go to your profile in each of your listings and add something around the lines. Find us in your favorite search engine or on social media by typing the property name or Zeevoo, book direct with us and save up to 10%, for example. Obviously, as you can see, this piece of information should come under the about the company of the your profile in booking.com. But for Airbnb, you can also do the same. You should go to Airbnb and under profile, insert almost the same thing you did for booking.com. Something like find us on your favorite search engine or social media by typing our properties names. You could make some changes and come up with the text that works best for your business, but just make sure you add something here. Potential bookers will read about your profile and may take some actions, and these actions may actually lead to direct bookings. And finally, in order to be found even more, make sure to list your properties on Facebook Shop with URLs to your listings on your website and keep posting updates about your properties on other social media platforms. It's very helpful to showcase your properties on as many different outlets and platforms as possible. Okay, so far so good. So now this is all about Google My Business, one of my favorite ones indeed. I'm quite sure you've all heard about it, if not implemented yet, but let's have an overview of GMB Google My Business benefits. The best part about GMB might be that it's free and available for everybody in every business. Listings on GMB are ranked better than those on OTAs because of a very obvious reason. The search engine belongs to Google. You can also add links to your listings page on your website so you can drive more direct bookings. And GMB also has the feature to show your rates and availability in Google Travel, as they are pushed from some of the OTAs to Google. And finally, if you don't have a website, you can build a very simple and basic website with the built-in feature in Google My benefits. But we should also know how to optimize our Google My Business listing, as this is very important. First, avoid using extra words or keywords in your business name, as this will negatively impact your ranking and may lead to your potential guest confusion. Then, add accurate address and phone number to let people contact you and easily find you. Third, add a link to your website to drive direct bookings made on your booking engine. Fourth, pick the best primary category and relevant secondary ones, as there are many and a lot of them can apply to your property type. So make sure to add all of them, one for the primary category and more as secondary ones. Then use some casual photos and virtual tours of your rental. Virtual tours are almost new, so you may want to contact a professional, and think of these as extra USPs, unique selling points for your rental. As you know, people get the first impression of your accommodation from what they see in the photos. And finally, encourage guests to leave reviews on your GMB listing. You can easily share the links through email or SMS. But before I conclude this part, I have two special tips and tricks for you when it comes to Google My Business or GMB. Once your listing is verified, add something like Cambridge Luxury Apartments Zebu hyphen service accommodation in Cambridge. You know why? This edition, service accommodation in Cambridge, can lead to a higher ranking in organic search results. The keyword, as you can see, should be a combination of your property type and the location, the city or town the accommodation is actually located. And the second piece of advice, or we can also call it tip and trick, is that if you don't receive a Google verification postcard under service accommodation as your primary category, change the primary category to guest house or something similar. And once verified, update your category. Google usually allows that. And sometimes when you list your properties as service accommodation, as there are no signage at your property front, Google may find fault with that and not send you a verification code. So this way you may be able to verify your business even if it doesn't have a signage on the doorway. The fifth category: launch email marketing campaigns. First things about email marketing: create a GDPR compliant database of email contacts. How? Well, you can do so by using an email marketing service like MailChimp. There are, of course, so many more in the market. Then create an opt-in or sign-up form, get the link, and share everywhere. For example, you could pin the link in your FB business page or group and in your email signatures. It's also super important to include your slogan and incentives to get more sign-up, like something like sign up for special rates and availability, or book direct with us and save up to 10%. Join us for amazing offers and discounts. Whatever you can honestly extend to your guests and enrich your database, that should be fine. Second, collect your guests' real email addresses at the point of booking. However, I should note that you should use some advanced tech to do so, as most OTAs unfortunately hide or change guests' real email addresses. So after the booking is made and the guest checks in and checks out, you basically have no contact info of the guest. So few marketing opportunity may remain, but with the use of some tech, you may be able to collect your guests' real email addresses. So keep searching. And when you have your database ready, send out newsletters and advertise book direct benefits. This should be an ongoing effort. You should raise awareness and tell your potential guests what are the benefits of direct booking with you. Then introduce your new properties and rentals added to your portfolio. Your previous guests might be interested in knowing what you've been able to add to your portfolio, and they might be interested in the location and staying again with you. Run competitions via emails and supplement by social media. And the last but not least, offer discounts via vouchers to first-time bookers or your repeat guests if you wish to build loyalty and increase direct bookings. Launching email marketing campaigns. The next category would be all about direct bookings. Let's not beat around the bush. Having an SEO-friendly direct booking website is a must. This is actually exactly where the paradox I referred to in the very beginning works perfectly, but this time to your own advantage. Remember what we said about choosing unique names for your listings, adding your business name in the listings names, listing your rentals on Google My Business, and adding book direct notes in your OTAs profiles. Yes, a direct booking website is an asset. Here are a few points about a really good direct booking website and how a direct booking website, which is also SEO friendly, can be an asset. No matter what website you're using, you need to implement a booking engine. The website could be WordPress, offered by a PMS provider, Wix, or any other third-party site. The booking engine allows you to push your rates and availability and take reservation, yes, direct bookings on your own website. The design must be appealing and in harmony with your branding. Next, you need to have clear call to action buttons like Book Direct Now placed in the most visible part of your homepage, all other web pages, and in all of your listings pages. Publish fresh, relevant, keyword-heavy content on your website regularly. Pay attention to SEO. Remember, if you can't do it yourself, use websites offered by PMSs that include SEO fields for every page. Honestly, there are very few that do so, so keep searching for the right one that best suits your SEO needs. Include your Book Direct slogan or key message at the top of your home page, in the header and the footer, or appeared in a pop-up when website visitors land on your website or are just about to leave the website. There are different settings and different variations, so use the one that works best for you. And finally, add promotions and offer discounts to encourage direct bookings. People for sure want a better experience and better rates, so adding promotions and offering discounts is a great incentives to begin with. We are almost done, but before I leave you to sleep on the many points I had to squeeze into a single presentation to be thorough, I want to share a memorable secret I have come up with. TI2C secret, which stands for technology, ingenuity, creativity, and consistency. To make your business process more efficient and achieve more direct bookings, you'll definitely need to use technology. For example, it's not easy to collect real email addresses from guests arriving from OTAs, as their contact info is hidden, or it's no mundane task to list your properties on as many channels as possible without the help of technology. That's a reality to keep in mind. Ingenuity. Be inventive and original. Nobody knows your business better than yourself. Creativity. Be creative and never be afraid of failing, as it's all about testing different tools and means until you get everything right. And last but not least, the Book Direct journey requires ongoing efforts. So don't despair, push forward, and be consistent. Thank you so much for taking your time and watching my presentation. Let's work together and bring about the direct booking revolution. Who can be of any help, please reach out and let us know. Thank you again and good luck with your Book Direct journey.